Have these candles been lit for thousands of years?
Legend has it that the constructors used mercury for tiny rivers and copied the whole world in miniature. The candles are fueled by essence oil from mermaids, meant to burn forever. But that's just myth. These candles, they look recently lit.
Who'd have time to light every candle in this massive place?
Maybe the Emperor raising his bronze army?
Speaking of that emperor, Jistia, you know what's on my mind, dear Patriarch? We're not the only ones near your ancestral home. But why did you pin it all on us? That guy who showed up out of nowhere in your home, he's way shadier than us, don't you think? Shouldn't he be your prime suspect for stealing the heirloom?
Maybe he's just more likable than you lot.
Whatever he's planning, we need to find and stop him.
But do we actually have enough people for this? Why didn't Master Yuan Chuan send more backup? He's putting way too much trust on us, don't you think?
No, he hasn't put any trust in you, Atsu.
Yes.
Let's not dwell on this. This is our sacred land, and I'll take full blame for whatever happens here. Time to head out.
Look out! Another earthquake! The pillars up ahead!
This underground palace is shrouded in thick mist. Use the mist clearance to absorb the mist, then release compressed air to shatter those crystals.
Seriously? How big is this palace?
Carving a city into a mountain's core. Ancient engineers were next-level genius.
These warriors.
Shh, keep it down. Let's not attract their attention.
Wait, there's a guard up ahead.
Is this big guy dead or just napping?
Judging by his outfit, he looks like a general.
Zihong.
Oh, right! Remember the stone tablet? Year 55 of Sha. Earthquake damage to the walls. Laborers conscripted, 4,500. Executions due to substandard work, 109. Overseers, Prime Minister Xi Xian. Grand General, Xi Hong. Minister of Works, Xi Qi.
So, this guy is Grand General Zihong?
If I recall correctly, Zihong was once Xisha's right-hand man. During Li Jun's reign, he rebelled against Li Jun and captured him.
Just another immortality-obsessed coward.
Shh, let's not disturb them. Who knows if they're out cold or just napping? Let's keep moving. And you, Professor Ming, save the history lecture. We're not on a field trip. I see a massive gate ahead. Let's check it out. Ugh, it's stuck tight, and no levers or buttons to open it. Hey, dear Patriarch, can you work your magic once more?
This gate's solid, at least a foot thick. Breaking it down? Think again, it'd take ages, and definitely not quietly.
Never around when we need you.
Hold up. Where'd that big guy go?
The fog is thick here. Hold your breath and be careful.
Shh. Keep low. I heard something above us.
Run!
Just as how I trust you before. I can do that over and over again. Long live the Emperor! Just as how I trust you before. I can do that over and over again. Long live the Emperor! Just as how I trust you before. I can do that over and over again. Long live the Emperor!
Run!
Just as how I trust you before. I can do that over and over again. Long live the Emperor!
Run! Finally ditched that big guy. Jeez. Where are we now? Every spot looks the same.
It's risky staying put here. That guy could show up at any minute.
There's an exit up there.
But pulling that lever will set off all the mechanisms at once. I see a hexagonal sensor over there, like the one at Kongjong Pavilion. Must have been made by the same craftsman. This one likely links to some mechanism too. Freeze it with the mist clearing lamp to halt some of the mechanisms.
Hold up. Isn't that the Grand General? Is he parading his troops here?
Emperor! 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 Long live the Emperor! Long live the royal bloodline!
Looks like another familiar mechanism.
Remember what I said? Scope out the area and figure out which mechanisms to activate and which to leave untouched.
This place is getting hotter! Even if those bronze zombies are immortal and have lost their human side, they can sense the heat rising, right? Seriously, how did Jisha's architects get away with building the Eternal Hall in this oven? No protests?
Well, that was ages ago after all. When construction started, this place probably felt cool and pleasant.
You're saying the temperature raised over the years?
The Heavenly Lake atop Mount Qianshui. It's actually an ancient volcanic crater remnant.
That's true. The geological team sent to Mount Tianche affirmed it as a dormant volcano, hinting at active magma chambers deep down. One of my mentors used to say, geology is all about pressure and time. Think of a magma chamber like a pressure cooker. The crust is the lid, and the mantle's heat keeps building. Heat rises constantly. Magma accumulates, pressure builds. The lid can't hold it anymore, and boom! The volcano erupts. Maybe there was less magma back then. Could have been cooler when Xisha built this place.
Jeez, you're giving me the creeps. Are we essentially treading on a ticking time bomb that could blow at any moment? Could it erupt any second?
Technically, yes.
Come on, quit with the grim news, poker face and all. Professor Ming, be straight with us. Will this volcano erupt or not?
I'm sorry, but that's beyond my expertise. No one knows it for sure. As I said, geology is all about pressure and time. But that timescale spans millions of years. Human civilization, from the Stone Age till now, is barely a blink in geological time. The next eruption could be in a minute, a week, or perhaps in 50,000 years. We lack the knowledge to precisely predict geological shifts. Human civilization is too young to have witnessed the full range of geological changes.
Phew. Can we wrap this up? Your lecture is giving me a headache.
Wait, something doesn't fit.
What? You spilled all that and now you're saying you goofed up?
Quiet scene. I think I figured out why Zisha came here.
Stop the cryptic act! What's the deal?
If, and it's a big if Mount Tianche erupts again after being dormant so long, what will happen?
What will happen? We get roasted alive, obviously!
Roasted? We'll be vaporized. Not even ashes left.
We're standing on a lava chamber, with Heavenly Lake right above us. If Mount Tianche erupts, it'll vaporize the entire lake.
Yeah? Then what?
Then what? Is that a coconut between your shoulders? Even I get it now. The whole lake's filled with cerulean water. If that lake evaporates, Xing taught you about the water cycle, right? Steam becomes clouds, then rain. If cerulean water gets up there, the wind will spread it everywhere. That cerulean rain would shower immortality across the continent. Heck, the whole planet! Ah, now it clicks. No wonder Jixia wasn't bothered about Sanglin City or Jingyu City. He had his sights set on Mount Tianque and Heavenly Lake from the get-go. He didn't bother with us because he's playing with the forces of nature.
Nope, not even he can force it. The lid still holds the magma pressure for now. As for when Mount Tianche will erupt, it's a matter of pure chance. Something feels off. He's got an ace up his sleeve, but I can't quite figure it out. In theory, to set off an eruption, he'd have to break through the rock above the magma chamber, like popping a pressure cooker lid.
Break through the rock? Think dynamite could do that?
Theoretically, it's possible, with enough dynamite on hand. But pulling off such a massive blast needs tremendous amount of manpower, explosives, and machinery. No way he pulled that off without raising Weisha's suspicion.
But all we see are those bronze monsters. No gear, no explosives.
That's odd. He's not planning on drilling through the rock himself, right?
Yeah. What's his endgame exactly?
This never-ending tunnel is finally coming to an end.
This heat is killing me, and the mist choking. Legs feel like...
Bronze bodies are strewn all over. These sword wounds look familiar. Was it him?
You! I knew I wasn't imagining things. Just as how I crushed you before. I can do that over and over again!
Hurry, before he recovers!
You! I knew I wasn't imagining things.
Hurry, before he recovers!
You! I knew I wasn't imagining things.
Hurry, before he recovers!
Did he just talk to me?
Who cares what that
Oh, those crystals again?
The lamp's fading.
His Majesty wouldn't have turned on us if not for you! Your Majesty, why choose these maggots?
Hey, Patriarch! He's gunning for you now! Your call!
Trivial skill!
Path's clear. Don't
What are these things? They look like giant fish scales. Are they carved?
Huh? Could it be those imprisoned here were so starving they carved?
Starving? They're bronze monsters with eternal life. They don't need food anymore.
Then why carve huge fish scales? And made them so delicious?
It's delicate. Still, were they really carved?
What's wrong?
When I heard you talking about geology, time, and stuff, it made me think of the cerulean crystals we used for crafting weapons.
What about those crystals?
I mean, the thing that brings the cerulean water. What's it called again? A beacon? Has it ever been activated before?
Of course it has! Didn't we already know that it was activated in GCS time?
No, I mean earlier. I'm not an expert on your fancy theories, but from what I've heard, the beacon and anomalies don't have much to do with humans, right?
That's one way to look at it. We haven't figured out the triggers for activating beacons or anomalies yet.
Then, could the Dragon Pillar have activated before humans even existed?
I've never thought about that.
Technically possible. Are you suggesting...
If some prehistoric creatures drank the cerulean water and became bronze monsters,
That just doesn't add up. Because if they did, they'd be immortal and still around today. But there are no bronze monsters anywhere.
didn't you mention volcanic activity? How long has Mount Tianshui been active?
Since around 80 to 120 million years ago, or perhaps even earlier. Its formation dates back to the Mesozoic era or beyond.
If that's the case, its eruptions would likely have wiped out those bronze creatures. Perhaps the cerulean crystals our ancestors discovered in Heavenly Lake are actually remnants of those ancient beings.
Logically, this is quite possible. What was that you said, Atsu? There's no bronze monsters anywhere, right? Maybe it's premature to jump to that conclusion. Let's think about Leech's words. What if some creature survived all those volcanic eruptions? What if there are still Mesozoic creatures influenced by cerulean water still alive today?
Hey, stop being a scaremonger.
I'd call it reasonable speculation. Anyway, we should be careful.
Seems like we have to squeeze through these bronze warriors. Stay quiet. Don't wake the dead.
Why bother? If they wake up, we cut through them. Trivial skill.
Look! There's a lever!
This path is blocked by those bronze warriors. We've got to detour.
Trivial. Trivial skill. Blood melting. Damn insects. Get away from me now! Quickly!
Walk in the ring.
Why were you running away? I could have taken him.
No doubt about that. But if you engage him, how can we be sure an endless horde of bronze soldiers won't overwhelm us? Our enemy isn't just one general. It's the whole Bronze Army.
I'm good. Been conserving my energy. However, On's been quiet since we arrived. I'm not sure what awaits us at the core of this palace.
We've been running forever, but all we bump into are endless bronze warriors and that general obsessed with Li Zhi. As for the Emperor, he's nowhere in sight. Did he even show up here?
He was here, I'm certain. I recognize the sword marks he left behind. I spotted the cuts on the dismembered bronze soldiers we stumbled upon earlier.
Hold on. So you're saying the Emperor offed his own troops? But this doesn't add up at all. Didn't he open this palace to raise his army and conquer the world?
Stop filling your head with those scams, Scene.
Yeah, he ranted something about betrayal. Seems like he's holding a grudge against his emperor.
And what's wrong with that guy? He went berserk the moment he saw you.
Sihong's era dates back thousands of years. If he's tied to some of us, the only possibility would be...
You mentioned he rebelled against Legion and captured him. So if he's connected to us somehow... Think he's nursing a vendetta against Legion's descendant?
Let's test whose weapon's sharper. His spear or my sword? How much longer we gotta run?
Not far now. The heat is escalating. We must be close to the core of the Eternal Hall.
If that pesky general dares to hassle me again, don't hold me back.
Fine, I'll let you handle it.
Found you again, Li Shui. The so-called Lord of the Weaponry. Just as how I crushed him before, I can do that over and over again. First your head, then your limbs. Even if you claw your way back to hell, you'll tremble at my sight forever!
With those rusty mitts of yours? Give me a break. It's you who should kneel.
Lost my composure.
Your Majesty, I'll be your loyal bloodhound forever and ever. Look at those insects you gracefully sent to their demise. If you won't bestow us with your reign, I'll nail you to your own throne. Bound together with the Great Loom, you'll be our eternal emblem.
No contact allowed. Walk in the rain.
Your Majesty, may we reign eternal, enduring as the sun.
A soldier who doesn't honor their weapon isn't a true warrior. We, the Tianli clan, will never fall to scum like you. Just a scratch. Turns out the immortal isn't so immortal after all. Besides the gibberish? Yeah, he did mention something.
The Great Long.
Long?
Rabbit eyes, deer antlers, ox mouth, camel head, clam belly, tiger paws, eagle claws, fish scales, and snake body. 9 features combined. That's the long.
Hey, our world doesn't have that fairy tale stuff, right?
Of course not. But remember what Licha mentioned earlier?
If some prehistoric creatures drank the cerulean water and became bronze monsters.
And remember the scales we saw earlier? Well, what if they're not sculptures, but
Not sculptures, but part of some mysterious creature? By the scale, the creature should be as colossal as the city itself. Even Mesozoic dinosaurs weren't that huge.
our planet is 4.54 billion years old? How can we claim to have documented every species that ever existed? Also, cerulean creatures cease metabolism, leading to the accumulation of metallic cells over time. Imagine such a colossal creature, surviving extinction, laying dormant beneath Qingyu City, melting with the mountain itself. What if it stirred awake like those bronze soldiers? It would wreak havoc. I understand. Something feels off. He's got an ace up his sleeve, but I can't quite figure it out. In theory, to set off an eruption, he'd have to break through the rock above the magma chamber, like popping a pressure cooker lid.
But all we see are those bronze monsters. No gear, no explosives.
That's odd. He's not planning on drilling through the rock himself, right?
To shatter the Earth's crust.
loyal kin. We're immortal now, free from mortal constraints. With our eternal sanctuary, we'll rule in celestial peace for eons to come.
Long live the Emperor! Long live the royal bloodline!
Since you crave for immortality, you shall be forever banned from the earthly realm. This gate shall remain shut for eternity. Now, this seals what unlocks the curses behind that gate. Well, honestly, sometimes I wish I was a heartless monster. Well, I'll let that kid deal with them.
Your Majesty? Your Majesty, you've been sitting here all night.
And you've been standing all night. I told you to meet me at dawn. Why'd you come so early?
I honestly don't know. But I had a feeling whatever you left to do last night was big. Like, world-shaking big. I couldn't see it myself, but I had to be here. Just to make sure you were all right.
I guess it's just the intuition of a scribe. Sorry, but I don't have the energy to worry about other people's feelings right now. Hope you don't take it personally that I ignored you all night.
Of course not. It's not that serious, Your Majesty.
You can drop the whole Your Majesty thing. Hearing it over and over is exhausting. The world doesn't need an emperor anymore.
I don't quite understand what you mean.
I'm leaving. I've been tied down in Qingyu City for too long. It's time to move on.
You're heading off again?
Yes.
Where to this time?
Where? Who knows? Just going wherever the road takes me. No plans, no destination. I've spent way too much of my life stressing over what comes next. From now on, I just want to live without a plan.
So, you're not coming back? But what about the Empire, Your Majesty?
Didn't I tell you to stop calling me that? An emperor owns everything under the heavens, every inch of land and every soul that walks upon it. But I'm not an emperor anymore. I'm just Shisha.
Then how should I address you?
Call me whatever you want. The world doesn't need an emperor anymore. At least, it doesn't need me. As for Xia itself, Sun Lo once said its time had passed long ago. It was like a corpse that had been dead for ages, but still clung to life. But now, it's finally laid to rest.
Laid to rest? You mean what you did last night? What exactly did you do?
I gave them exactly what they wanted. They wanted eternal life, so I gave it to them. An endless eternity with no sense of time. Before I go, I should take one last look. It really is beautiful up here. I wonder who will live here next. There'll be many emperors after this. They and their ministries will come up with all sorts of names for their empire. There's something I've always wondered. You're always so nosy. Always digging around. Whether it's Tianli or the G-Clan, you always want to know more about everything. But there's one thing you've never asked me. You've never once asked how I and the royal family gained immortality. Aren't you curious?
After seeing what immortality has done to you and your clan, I wouldn't exactly call it a blessing. I'd rather live and die as a mortal, just like my mentor, Sun Lo.
If just a few more members of the royal family had thought the way you do, things wouldn't have turned out like this. All right. I'll tell you everything. About 10 feet below the surface, a massive black stone pillar stands. Sometimes, The pillar gives the water a strange bluish-green tint. Or maybe that's the color of the water when it releases. It's hard to say. For now, let's just call it cerulean water. Back when Li Jun and I first came here, the lake suddenly became completely transparent, revealing the stone pillar and the cerulean water. Drinking the cerulean water grants immortality. The day Li Jun and I climbed the mountain, I only took a single sip, but then the royal family drank without restraint. Well, you've seen the consequences. They all turned into those inhuman bronze monstrosities. If it hadn't been for Li Jun's foresight, the Tianli clan would have suffered the same consequences.
Why are you telling me all this now?
Because when I'm gone, someone needs to watch over the Tianshi Lake and keep an eye on that mysterious cerulean water. And watch over my people.
Have you forgotten already? Back at the foot of the mountain, you said you weren't an emperor anymore.
Yeah, I know I'm running away. But that doesn't mean I can just ditch everything and walk off. If another disaster like the royal family happens again, who's going to clean up the mess?
So you're leaving the problem to me?
Just think of it as my last bit of power as the former emperor.
I'm just a scribe. How could I possibly be worthy of such a heavy responsibility?
If you had asked me about the secret to immortality even once, I wouldn't have said a word. But since you don't care about immortality, I know I can trust you with this. Think of it as doing me a favor. From now on, don't let immortality corrupt this world again.
This is a huge responsibility, and I'm honored to take it on. As long as I live, I'll give everything to it. And when I'm gone, my successor will carry on the mission. You have my word, my lord.
Good. That's good. One more thing.
This is...
Exactly. This is the Imperial Seal carved by Sung Lo, the original design for Li Jun's Regency Seal. The heart of the world. I was planning to get rid of it myself, either by tossing it into Tianshi Lake or throwing it into the Great River and letting it disappear. But no. This is the only thing I've left that connects me to Sung Lo and Li Jun. They're both gone, and I don't even know if there will ever be a day where I'll see them again. Destroying it with my own hands would be like wiping away the last memory I have of them. I'm not that cold-hearted. Do me a favor. When I'm gone, just make sure it disappears. I don't want anyone fighting over it, using my name to ignite some stupid power struggle, or even worse, causing pointless bloodshed. This way, the chapter Xia in history can end for good.
I will take it.
Well, I'll leave the hard work to you from here on. Though I have to admit, I'm curious. How will you and your successors write about us immortals in the history books? We ruled over everyone for so long, then just disappeared without a trace. Won't that confuse people down the line?
No need to worry about it. For years, the people have suffered, living in misery with their lives hanging by a thread. Recording their struggles to warn future generations is hard enough. Why bother wasting ink writing about immortals? Why obsess over the divine when we have the living to worry about? So the vassals have finally started turning on each other. But none of them seem powerful enough to take over Qingyu City just yet. Send more people to foster communication between the regions and keep a close watch on things. Right now, the top priority is to restore the abandoned fields at the foot of Mount Tianqi. What tone should I use? Where should I even start? Should I use my real name? No, that won't do either. Yuan Chuan.